Yo, what's up guys? It's Noah here, and in today's video, I'm going to be talking through a couple player props I like on Prizepicks for tonight's NBA slate on Thursday, May the 9th. We've got two games on Thursday night. We got Game 2 of the Celtics and Cavs series, and we got Game 2 of the Mavericks and Thunder series. So a two-game slate for Thursday night. I've got two early player props, guys, that I do like for tonight's slate that we're going to talk about in this video. I have two props. We're going to talk about a play that I do like from each game tonight. So before we do that, as always, if you guys do enjoy these Prizepicks videos, if they do help you out, make sure you hit that like button down below, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet, and if you guys are new to Prizepicks, if you don't have an account over on Prizepicks, you can sign up, linked down below in the description, or use that promo code NOAH when you sign up for Prizepicks, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. Right now, Prizepicks, they do have a free square available for all new users. This is available for the start of the WNBA season, which I believe starts on Tuesday. Caitlin Clark's points prop is set at 0.5. This is a pick that you can get on Prizepicks. It's available for both new users and existing users. So if you already have an account on Prizepicks, you can use this. If you don't have an account on Prizepicks, well, this is just another incentive to sign up. Use that free square. Pair it with any plays you like. Doesn't have to be WNBA. It can be NBA. It can be any other sport. It's up to you, but definitely take advantage of things like this. Anytime sites run promos, discounts, free squares, you want to be taking advantage of that. And for those of you, again, that don't have an account on Prizepicks, use that code NOAH. When you sign up, again, you'll get your first deposit matched up to $100. We do also have a partnership with Sleeper. You guys can check out Sleeper, linked down below in the description. Or again, just use that promo code NOAH over on Sleeper, and you'll get your first deposit matched up to $500. Now, very similar to Prizepicks, Sleeper, they do also offer a lot of discounts. They do a lot of promos throughout the week. They'll give discounts on player projections. They do also give out free squares to all new users. So if you're a new user, if you haven't signed up for Sleeper yet, when you sign up and use that code NOAH, you'll get a free square added to your account that you can use towards any entry of your choosing. You can play it with any sport. Usually, for the free squares, it's usually like an NBA prop, but sometimes they'll have some other sports as well. But it doesn't really matter. You can play those with any sports you like. Sleeper offers a lot of the major sports, NBA, NFL, MLB, all those major sports are available over on Sleeper. So if you guys do want to check them out, again, use that code NOAH and get your first deposit matched up to $500. Now, before we talk through our props for today, guys, I do want to recap the plays we gave out in Wednesday's video. So we gave out two picks Wednesday. Hit both the plays from Game 2 of the Pacers and Knicks series. We took the over on Tyrese Halliburton, 25.5 points plus assists. Halliburton had a huge game Wednesday night. Feel like a lot of people were overreacting, I think, to Game 1. I know Halliburton really struggled in Game 1, but you got to have a short memory when you're doing player props. You can't just look at what happened the game before and think that's going to happen again. A lot of people in the comments, were saying, they didn't want to take the Halliburton prop, and I get it. I understand how people think, but I really like that spot for Halliburton. I thought the line was a little bit too low. His line got bumped up to 26.5, but even if you took it at 26.5, still cashed with ease. Halliburton had a huge game Wednesday night. And then we took Isaiah Hartenstein, more than 11.5 points. That was a little bit sweaty. Hartenstein had a pretty good first half. He had 8 points in the first half, but he didn't do much in the second half. Did wind up scoring, though, his 12th point, I think, with like 7 or 8 minutes left in the fourth quarter. Went over his points prop. So hopefully you guys tailed both the plays we gave out Wednesday. Been on a nice little run lately. We've cashed both the plays of our last two videos, so I think we're on like a 4-0 run. Honestly, I think we're on a 5-0 run because we hit a play. I think we hit the play we gave out Tuesday, but it was with a Rudy Gobert prop, and Gobert didn't play. But we've hit both of our last two pick entries. We also technically have hit all of our last 5 picks and individual picks we've given out on YouTube. So been on a run lately. Let's try and keep it going, guys. Let's try and win today. Let's talk through the props I'm liking for these games on Thursday. So looking at the first game of the night, the Cavs and Celtics game, we're going to look at a points plus assist prop that I like in this game, and it's going to be Peyton Pritchard at 10.5 points plus assists, and I like the over here, more than 10.5 PA for Pritchard. Let's talk through why I like this prop. So if you look at what happened in Game 1 of the series, Pritchard did have a really big game. He had 18 points plus2 in that game. He had 16 points and 2 assists. So far in the playoffs, Pritchard, he's only gone over this line in 2 out of their 6 playoff games. In the 5 games against Miami, he only went over this line once against Miami. Obviously, this is a different matchup, though, against Cleveland. I don't think the matchup is great here. Obviously, Cleveland, a good defensive team. Cleveland plays at a relatively slow pace. But Pritchard has had a really good role so far in the playoffs. He's consistently been playing about 20 minutes a night, sometimes more. In their 6 playoff games, he's played 24, 20, 25, 18, 27, and 24 minutes. So he's bottomed out at 18 minutes, and he's topped out at 27 minutes. So we can project Pritchard for probably between like 18 to 27 minutes here. I think, probably like 22 minutes is a pretty decent projection from him. And if we're going to get 20 to 22 minutes from Peyton Pritchard, I like our chances of getting 11 points plus assists. Pritchard has been a player that has shown the ability to be productive when he gets minutes. He's a player that will score when he's on the floor. He can facilitate as well. Now, so far in the playoffs, he's only averaged 3.8 potential assists per game, so he's not really been doing a ton of ball handling. He's averaged 2.8 assists per game in the postseason. Last game, he only had 2 potential assists. He did convert both of those. Had 2 assists. He had 2 potentials. But I was looking at some sportsbook odds. All sportsbooks are heavily favoring the over on Pritchard assist prop. Like Pritchard's assist prop is set at 2.5 today. On Pinnacle, it's minus 170 to go over. On DK Sportsbook, Pritchard's minus 155 to go over 2.5 assists. So I like taking Pritchard more than 10.5 assists today versus like taking his over on points. His points prop is currently set at 7.5. That is also juiced towards the over. But if you look right now on Prizepicks, Pritchard has a rebounds prop of 2.5, but there's no assist prop for him. For 2.5, his assist prop is set at 3.5, and it's a demon. The reason there's not an assist prop for Pritchard at 2.5 is because the odds are so heavily juiced towards the over for him to go over that Prizepicks is not going to offer that prop. Well, I like taking him, for more than 10.5 points plus assists here. If he scores 8 points and goes over his points prop, I think he has a pretty good chance of also getting 3 assists, especially with how the sports books are favoring the over on his assist prop for today. And like I said, the minutes have been good for Pritchard in the postseason. He's consistently been playing around low 20s minutes a night. And also, I think it does help that this game does have a big spread. Last game, it was somewhat of a blowout. I think starters played until like the final 2 or 3 minutes, and then they subbed out. Like if you look at the rotations last game, so it looks like the starters got pulled with about 4 minutes left last game. I think the spread was like 12.5, 13.5. Once again, we got a big spread here, 13.5. Boston's favored by 13.5 at home. If this game turns into a blowout, that's going to be good for Peyton Pritchard because I think Peyton Pritchard would probably play in a blowout. Like if you look at last game, he played the entire fourth quarter, and even after all the main guys subbed out, like even after Drew and Tatum and all those guys subbed out, Peyton Pritchard remained on the floor. Like they kept him out there. So I'm actually kind of hoping this game turns into a blowout because I think that's going to help Peyton Pritchard. But even if the game's competitive, we should still see Pritchard play 20 to 22 minutes. If the game's a blowout, you can maybe see him play 26, 27, 28 minutes. And he's going to be productive when he's on the floor. He's not a player that's afraid to shoot. Last game, in the 27 minutes he played, he took 12 shots. He took 10 threes last game. Shot 4 for 10 from 3, so it was rather efficient. But if you look at so far in the playoffs, I mean, if you look at his field goal attempts, 7, and then there was a game where he had 0, which was an outlier. And then he had 5, 4, 8, and 12 field goal attempts. So, like, he'll take shots when he's on the floor. He can facilitate as well. Sportsbooks are favoring the over on his 7.5 points prop for today. They're heavily favoring the over on his 2.5 assist prop. I like taking him for more than 10.5 points plus assists. And looking at DK Sportsbook, that prop is also juiced towards the over. I think DK has his points plus assist prop minus 122 favorite to go over. So that is the first prop I like for tonight, guys, is Peyton Pritchard, more than 10.5 points plus assist. And then the other prop that I like, going to the Mavericks and Thunder game, we're going to look at PJ Washington, 10.5 points. Also, I like the over here, so more than 10.5 points for PJ Washington. And let's talk through why I like this prop. So PJ Washington did go under this line in game 1 of this series, but you have to look more into it. So PJ Washington was in massive foul trouble last game. He only played 26 minutes. If you look at the rotation, he played about 9 minutes, about 9 minutes in the first quarter, but he picked up his second foul with 2:52 left in the second quarter. So he had to sub out because he picked up 2 fouls in the first quarter. And then he subbed back in with about 8 minutes left in the second quarter, played 6 seconds before he picked up his third foul, and then immediately went to the bench. So he lost about 8 minutes of playing time in the second quarter because of foul trouble. and then he played a normal stint in the third quarter, avoided foul trouble, and then he played about half of the fourth quarter before he got subbed out for blowout. So he lost about 8 minutes of playing time in the second quarter because he picked up his third foul, and then he lost about, I don't know, let's say about 5 minutes of playing time because Dallas subbed out their starters with 5 minutes left because the game was out of hand. So really, barring, if you take away the foul trouble and the blowout last game from PJ Washington, he would have played like 13 additional minutes. He probably would have played like close to 40 minutes. And without Maxi Kleber, they're going to have to play PJ Washington a ton. They don't really have any other backup power forwards like bigs. They're pretty much going to split the center minutes between Derek Lively and Daniel Gafford now that they don't have Kleber. And maybe we'll see them play some small ball. Like maybe they'll play PJ Washington at center some, which I think could be good for his rebounding numbers. I was looking at his rebounds prop for today, PJ Washington that is. It's set at 5.5, and I kind of like the over on that as well. 5.5 rebounds for Washington. I think we could see him play some center in this series without Maxi Kleber, which should help his rebounding numbers. But I like the points prop here. I don't even mind points plus rebounds. His PRA line was at 17.5 before I started recording this video. It's at 18.5 now. You could look at that too, but I think my favorite play is 10.5 points, taking the over here for PJ Washington. I do like this matchup for him. PJ Washington is not going to get a bunch of usage playing alongside Luka, alongside Kyrie, but he's going to get those corner threes, and that's where OKC has been vulnerable this season. OKC is top 5 in three-point attempts allowed per game, and they've also given up the second most catch-and-shoot threes, and PJ Washington has become a catch-and-shoot three-point guy now that he's been with the Mavericks. He doesn't really drive to the basket as much as he used to. He's more of kind of like a spot-up shooter. He'll take those corner threes, and with OKC doing whatever they can, doubling Luka, doubling Kyrie, that's going to leave PJ Washington open for those corner threes, which is where OKC has been vulnerable this season. So I like this matchup a lot for PJ Washington. I think this is a spot where he should be able to get up a lot of shot attempts. I know last game he only took like 7 shots. He was fairly efficient though. Shot 4 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from 3. The minutes should be there. He's going to play a ton, especially without Maxi Kleber. And last game he was in foul trouble. That was the reason he played 26 minutes. Barring foul trouble, barring another blowout here, we could see PJ Washington play like 38, 39, 40 minutes. And if he gets those type of minutes, I think we got a pretty good chance at getting 11 points from PJ Washington. And I was looking at sportsbook odds. Right now on Pinnacle, last time I checked, this prop was heavily juiced towards the over. Pinnacle has this, I think, minus 170 to go over right now. Let me check it again. Yeah, so right now on Pinnacle, PJ Washington is minus 155 favored to go over 10.5 points. It's pretty rare that you see a prop minus 155 on Pinnacle and that line be available on Prizepicks. So I think there's a pretty good chance this points prop is going to get bumped. Hopefully you guys will be able to get it in at 10.5. If they do bump the points prop for PJ Washington, I don't mind taking over 16.5 points plus rebounds as an alternative. Like let's say they bump this up to 11 or 11.5, but they leave this line the same. I would definitely take this instead of the bumped points prop if they do bump it. But I like both these props really. I think 10.5 points though is my favorite here for PJ Washington. We talked about all the reasons I like this play. So that'll do it for our 2 props for Thursday night, guys. For the game 2 of Boston Cleveland and game 2 of Dallas OKC. We got Peyton Pritchard more than 10.5 points plus assists, and PJ Washington more than 10.5 points. So if you guys are going to tell me on these 2 plays, let's hopefully hit both these plays again tonight and make some money. I do always appreciate you guys watching these Prizepicks videos, supporting the content. Hit that like button down below. If you did enjoy, hit that subscribe button if you have not yet. Also, guys, if you don't have an account on Prizepicks, use that promo code NOAH. When you sign up, get your first deposit matched up to $100. But that's all that I got for tonight. Good luck on the slate. We will see you guys in the next video.